Hello, everybody. It's Nicole with a K again. So, what I'm going to do today is show you how you can use your avatar on images. And I just grabbed some old Facebook cover images. I think they're still current though, but they're just not like the new stuff. So, but all I'm doing is teaching you the concepts, and then you can use it for any business. Doesn't even have to be Origami Owl. So, we are going to show you first Photoshop, then I'll go through PicMonkey, then Canva, then Pixel Art, and I will show you what I do and don't like about all these programs. Of course, I like Photoshop. I prefer Photoshop. Photoshop is like $10 a month, and you get a whole package of things. You get all of Adobe's mobile device like apps, which are awesome. So if you're going to be serious about your business, I highly recommend, highly, just getting Photoshop. It's $10 a month. Canva is more a month than that. So, and you still can't do very much stuff with it, and I'll show you the reasons why. So, I'm going to go ahead. I'm in Photoshop right now. So what I'm going to do, oops. Get out of full screen. Okay, so here is my little Photoshop image that I just made, which I don't need anymore. Don't save. Okay, so I'm going to show you how, let me close these out, how to do this. So we are going to go to File, Open. I'm going to choose, let's see, my browser downloads. Okay, so for the Photoshop one, I think I use this one right here, and then I can open multiple images at a time. So you'll notice when you get your avatar, it's going to have your name, and then if you had different outfits, you'll have A, B, C, whatever. And then if you have any accessories, this will also state it in the name of your avatar. And then the 2000 means it's 2000 pixels tall, and 500 would mean it's 500 pixels tall. Since we're just working with a Facebook cover, we can work with the 500. If you're doing like something printed that like needs to be bigger, you definitely want to use the larger size. Anywho, so let's open up both these images, show you how easy this is in Photoshop. So here's our little avatar. We're going to just do select all and edit copy. And we're going to go up here, you have little tabs. And we're going to paste her in here, paste. And then she's a little bit big, so we're going to resize her. So we're going to hit Command T on a Mac and Control T on a PC. And then up here at the top, you can actually size her by percentage, which I find to be the easiest way to do it. And it looks like that might be, let's do like 65%. And just hit Enter, and that makes her that size. I could set her over here. Looks like she needs to go down a little bit more, so Command T or Control T on a PC. You can also drag the corners and hold Shift. So I think she should be standing on the bottom of the image and then nothing above her head. And then I'm just going to remove this owl. I want to show you how easy it is. So over here, you can just grab this rectangular marquee tool, and purposely I'm going to leave some of his arms so I could show you another tool. So I'm going to just drag the box around him. You'll notice that I'm not on her layer. These are layers, which is what I love about Photoshop. So you could turn off and on layers. But whichever layer is highlighted is the one that is going to be affected by what you're doing. So then I'm going to click or hit my delete key on my keyboard, and that's going to bring this window up. It's going to ask me, what do I want to fill with that? And I just want it to be white. So not sure what yours would be set to, but I'll just hit OK. And then I'm going to select and then deselect because I don't want anything selected right now. So I left this piece on purpose so I could show you how to use this awesome tool over here. I just call it the Band-Aid tool, but it actually has a name. Let me see what it's actually called. The Spot Healing Brush tool. So then you just draw a little thing right there, and it goes away. Oops. Yeah, I got it all. Okay. So another thing that you can do in Photoshop, which I love, is when you're on the avatar layer, and you can even double click in here and you can type, you know, avatar. So you know that that's your avatar layer if you had multiple layers going on. The next thing is down here, there's an effects button, and I'm going to scroll down to drop shadow. She'll look really cute with a drop shadow on her. I'm just going to scoot this over. I think that's a little bit much. It's kind of large. Probably don't want it to be that big. Maybe, typically I'll do, when it's on like a social media image, I'll do like 10 spread and 10 size. And then usually I'll do about 50% for the opacity. You can just ignore everything else. Whatever it's on is fine, and just hit OK. So now she has a cute little shadow behind her, which is kind of neat. And then we're going to save her. So let's do save, export, file, export, save for web. And JPEG. I'm always going to save as a maximum if I do a JPEG. Otherwise, I could do a PNG, but those are pretty large. So you kind of, depending on how much color and information is in your picture, you might not want to do a PNG. You might want to do a JPEG. So I can see that this file is going to be 80K. That's the size. I can also do a PNG 24. I can see how big this is going to be, 139. So that's going to be bigger. So I'll stick with the JPEG in this instance. And I love Photoshop for this because you can see, you can even do 2 up and it'll show you the different variations. So here's JPEG, and then that's your original, but you can change this to PNG. So now I have a PNG 24, it's 135, and a JPEG down here. So whichever one I want is the one I would click on. And I would click save. So I'm going to save this as Facebook cover Photoshop, just so I can tell the difference between them. And I'll click save. And that's how we do the Photoshop Facebook cover. So I will make a separate video for each different style. I mean, each different software, or whichever, whatever you call it, each different program that you can use, so that you don't have to watch the ones that you don't want to learn in each video. I'll explain why I do and don't like certain things about them, but definitely my number one vote is Photoshop, of course. So you can also save a file. You want to do file, save as. You want to save this as a layered file so you could go back in and make changes later. So you can click on the image that you already had, so you don't have to retype the name. And then down here I want to choose Photoshop, and it'll change it to PSD. That's a Photoshop document, okay? Make sure layers is checked because you want it to save your layers, and click save. And then you can do maximize compatibility. That's just so previous versions of Photoshop can open your file. It doesn't really hurt to do that, so you can just hit OK. And then you can close your file and you're done. So I'll do, what was it? PicMonkey in the next video.